Munom in this land between the Zambezi and the Limpopo.
Wait, and
I'm not saying they are the only ones. I'm not saying they are the only ones. No, Anga Ari Mago.
But are you Mtasa?
I'm Mtasa.
No, the Mtasas came after.
After what?
Those brothers were my sisters now.
You get it.
Oh my gosh.
Mtasa.
Yeah.
You get it. These are people from
Tembo. Mtasa. It's now linked.
No.
Mtasa. You know that's the Shumba. That's a confusing why
conquered the whole of Manicaland, Mnyanga, Mtare, Kushika Kuno, Kumtoko Kuno, right? And conquered everywhere. Conquered everywhere. We will be talking about, and why are you on your phone? Why are you? And again, we're about to start a podcast, and this guy is on the phone.
Hello?
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, you've got a live production over the weekend. Bevan, are you here?
I'm very much available. Sorry, you know how it is. Sometimes you've got to deal with these things. They follow you everywhere you go. But we definitely do have. I mean, it's a football fiesta. We are giving it to you like you have never been given before.
Giving it to you like it has never been given to you before. Anashe, Bevan, no lawyers. That's good. We've got a very beautiful lady with us today. I know a lot of our fans have been calling for a female analyst, eh?
Yeah, and we do have one.
Yeah. We were arguing about totems, though. Mtasa is the best. Mbizi, Samaita, Nyara. Football, Dynamos were playing Herentals over the weekend, and of course that match ended 0-0. What we're going to do now is going to listen to Lochigo, who's the Dynamos coach, on his perspective about the match that ended 0-0 against the students.
It's a tale of missed chances, clear chances for that. One in the first half, the other in the second half, of course, and other fringe chances. I think once we get a goal, we are good to go. But otherwise, great fighting spirit from the team, correct tactical approach. It's unfortunate the goals have failed us today, but otherwise we will continue to work, and I believe this team will come right.
How did the pitch affect your tactics going into this match?
We knew that the Herentals are strong in the wide areas, and we make sure that we plugged those holes in the wide areas, and then we would have better quality in midfield in terms of ball retention and ball rotation. And we knew that if we had a lot of pace up front, it would count in our favor. We did create chances. It's unfortunate we did not get the result we deserve today.
All right, 2 draws in succession going into the next match. How are we going to correct that?
The league is a marathon. It's not a 2-match event. It's a process. When we get our momentum right, I think we'll be back in it.
Back in it.
That's, of course, Lochigo, the Dynamos coach, saying that the league is a marathon, and they'll be fixing their, bluntness in front of goal. Now let's hear what Celestino Benza, the coach for Herentals, had to say about the game.
Yeah, we are happy. Because getting a point is very important in the league, because at the end it adds to the other points that we have, and we are very happy because it wasn't an easy game, and they missed a lot of chances, but we managed to get a clean sheet at the end. So for us, we are happy.
A lot of chances were created for Dynamos in the first half, but not so much in the second half. What was the change in tactic there?
Yeah, we told the boys at halftime that we're supposed to go to them and don't let them come to us every second. So we managed to main mark them one-on-one, and at least it paid some dividends because we managed to cut those crosses.
Cutting those crosses, very important for Herentals in the second half. And looking forward to the season, what are the objectives?
Yeah, we are trying to fight and finish in the top 4, because last season we finished on number 5. So that is still our objective. We haven't changed. So we're going to go all out and fight so that at least we achieve that objective.
Yes, that's Celestino Benza, the coach for Herentals. And now, guys, that match ended 0-0. And Dynamo's second match and a second draw. Although Loichigo does say that it's a marathon, Bevan, do you think that the frailties up front are going to be fixed as the season goes?
See, I hear this, you know, a lot of coaches drawing parallels to, you know, they want to use the analogy of a marathon every time, which, well, in terms of common sense, it's okay, it does make sense, but you've got to understand dynamics of a marathon also. You can start the race at the bottom and finish the race at the bottom.
Yeah.
You've got to be very careful how you manage these marathons, and if you're going to think simply because it's a long race, something will happen that will change things. You know, you may be shocked. I'm no disrespect to anything. I've got a lot of respect for the coach and the technical setup, and I know they're doing very well. But when you look at the composition of that team and call them Dynamos, I think that is a serious disrespect to the legacy of that big club. That is arguably the biggest footballing institution in Zimbabwe. And when you look at those guys, and you want to think, where is it going to come from? Yes, I understand people will tell you, I have said it before, people will tell you issues to do with, you know, lack of match fitness, sharpness. I mean, this was literally the second game.
The other thing is probably tactical awareness. I was with Justin Majavi looking at that match, and he was constantly pointing out the fact that Valentine Kadonzo was offside the majority of the match.
Do you know what that says? For me, it was maybe let's play to the strength. It's always good also to play to your strength, because I saw it in the other game anyway. But then how do you play to your strength? This is a pacey winger. But it's not just about these long balls. Because these guys now were playing a high line, so the high line was meant to make sure that whenever they want to use that, they're going to get Valentine offside. So they knew it was a rehearsed thing. You get it. So at the end of the day, you know, the tactical awareness that you alluded to has to come into play to say, okay, we tried this.
Yes, but it's not working.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's try something else.
How do we change? Then it then comes to you are needing to have versatile players who can adjust and adapt to the circumstances that are prevailing in the game. And I just didn't see that from Dynamos, and I'm looking at, I grew up watching this team, and you know, it's sad. I can't even remember some of the players. Who are these guys? And you know, it's sad.
Yeah.
Really.
Anashe, Herentals coming away with a point against Dynamos. Who gained more here? Is it Dynamos or Herentals, or they both lost?
Like what Bevan initially said, that Dynamos these days is no longer Dynamos. You know, we have seen coaches celebrating a draw more, like they actually see themselves gaining a point rather than losing 3 points. So they actually see themselves gaining, especially the students, they're actually celebrating that on the second place in the log. Yet the league is still at its infancy, and there are a lot of things yet to come. Let's talk about this. Let's move to match day 8, and we'll see where these teams will be, because we cannot celebrate the current position and we cannot celebrate a draw, and sometimes it's quite difficult to believe these coaches, because they'll actually come and try to convince that they are happy with the current play they have, they are happy with the team, they're happy with the structures. But sometimes when the league starts, sometimes you won't even tell the architecture they are trying to prove, or maybe they are whatever that they want to actually bring to say, this is our strategy, this is our structures. So I think Herentals, mostly we have seen, it's not the first time they have played Dynamos, and we have seen them doing well by being giant killers in the previous season. But I just feel like maybe it's for Herentals rather than to say Dynamos would actually celebrate a draw.
A point.
If I may just butt in, I think based on the current situation that is obtaining, I feel it's actually 2 points lost to Herentals.
To Herentals.
Not to Dynamos.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes, because maybe you also want to look at the position that they finished last season. I think they were higher than Dynamos.
Dynamos, yeah. They finished fifth.
One thing that that these big three teams are not doing well, maybe save for Caps United being maybe a bit, they're trying very hard to be a bit different. But these traditional giants, the problem is the football is not being done as football. The way Dynamos is being led is totally wrong. We have to say this. We cannot be quiet about this. You cannot run Dynamos like you're running a tuck shop. You get it?
What's being run like a tuck shop?
Yes,
Seems
exactly.
to be working.
How about
What's
if you
working?
say they're actually running it like Home Affairs?
You get it, but this is an archaic way of doing our business.
Yeah, but
we've got to bring people who are able to do that. Look, these teams are way bigger than the teams that are now making waves ahead of them. In terms of brand viability, I think Dynamos, if they're doing everything well, nobody can stand against that brand.
Yeah.
But what we are seeing today is wrong. Herentals, they're doing well. They're a very stable side. And they do their things. The Herentals way, like I said, I think in the previous podcast, but it's working for them. And you're looking at, if you go back to that match, proper innocent, yes, I accept Dynamos, they were denied by the upright, the crossbar and everything, I think on 2 or 3 occasions.
Yeah.
But you want to look at how we got to those moments. Was it about Dynamos
being creative?
Being creative and dominating their way to those prime target areas? No. It was somehow we ended up there.
Yeah.
You get it?
This is what
and you get it. So normally what you understand, your time on Machope kind of strikers, these are, you should be having one at Dynamos. Somebody who has a name. Who has a name at Dynamos now?
No one.
Valentine.
You're just talking of Valentine Karojo and Emmanuel Jalai, who looks like a whale in a fish pond. I mean, he's way ahead of everyone else, and you're like, you get it?
Yeah, but I understand. So Herentals drawing against Dynamos. Another big match that was on Sunday with New Boys Scotland taking on Caps United. Now let's hear what the Caps United, of course, that match ending with Scotland winning by 2-0. Let's hear what the Caps United coach Lloyd Chitembo had to say about the game.
It wasn't a good win in CNN. I think the boys fully deserve it. You ask me, I think we were in control of the game. 90 minutes, of course, Caps United had their moments, but largely I think it was us, if you ask me. We created so many chances in the first half, 1 versus 1 situations, we could not score. I think with some bit of precision, we could have scored 3 in the first half. But however, we came back, improved side in front of goal, then we got that assist from Kama Billiard, and then of course time on Machope. And then from then on, naturally when you are leading, you are going to, the opponent will throw everything at you, and you are under pressure, you are forced to defend deep. We did that, and then we were hitting them on the break. We did that, and I'm sure the last goal is a result of a good transition from our team. Yeah, so I said the team was tired. The team was tired last week. If we had put up such a performance against Triangle, CNN, I'll tell you, it was going to be a different story. We had a good rest during the week, and there is Scotland for you. It's a glimpse of what these boys can do. This is only the second game of the season. We expect more good performances, improved performances for that matter from this team.
Yeah, that is actually Tondera Ndiraya. Apparently my TD and my producer want to prove to everyone that I do not know the difference between Loichi Tembwe and Tondera Ndiraya. Well done, guys. Well done. Thank you very much. That was Tondera Ndiraya, the head coach of Scotland. But now we actually, hopefully, if they don't want to make me look stupid again, we're going to listen to Loichi Tembwe and his take on the game.
Yeah, I thought, decent performance, but I thought for the 2 goals we literally gave them away, and there were a series of mistakes before the goals, and I thought that could have been avoided if only we had concentrated in those moments. There's no way you can allow a striker, free reign in your box, and at the same time, you in terms of numbers, you are better than them in those situations, and very, very disappointed. And at the same time, the first goal, I thought we donated. It was charity. We did donate to them, and we lost the ball right in the middle of the opponent's half, and from there we could not recover. And this is one area that I'm really disappointed with.
Yeah, that's Loichi Tembwe there saying that he's very disappointed at the fact that they lost to Scotland FC. I maintain, guys, Scotland is winning the league, and as you can see, they're far ahead of everyone in terms of quality and the style of play. So, yeah, I maintain Scotland. Stop looking at me like
no.
Why are we looking at me like...
I'm shocked that you've gone into overdrive in terms of praising. And we don't know, maybe one is hoping that maybe the Honorable is watching and there will be rewards there. We know it's happening. We saw some fans
who have moved,
changing their allegiances. It's interesting, really, when you say style of play, because if you ask me, if you go to that game, I don't think in terms of style of play Scotland were the better side. If you ask me, are
you saying that Scotland, Caps United, were PSG'd?
Wow.
I would take that, but maybe not exactly PSG'd in the sense that PSG. I mean, they were playing against what's his name? Alisson, sort of.
What about Scotland were playing against
Nari, yes, but the circumstances are a bit different because, like the coach said, they sat back and they were hitting on the counters because Cape Town were a bit desperate to get a goal. But in terms of what personally, if you ask me, what I didn't like is when we look, coaches plan for games differently, but I saw. I didn't see Scotland building from the back.
But that was part of the tactic, isn't it?
Yes, so you were just having those long balls play. But I think, tactically it can work because Cape United is most potent when it comes to the midfield. This is the area where they will match anyone in the Premier League, whatever season it is. So maybe if you play to bypass the midfield, that would work that way. Because I saw, we were covering the game, and I also got to have a rewatch of the game, so to speak. I was saying Talbot Schumba was just hitting the balls, bypassing the midfield. I think it was because they knew Cape United came into that game with 2 defenders who are not 100% fit, who are coming from injury, and that's why I think they had the speedy Panache Mtimbanyoga, who was a constant threat whenever these long balls got to him. So in terms of, I'm not really a fan of that kind of football. I prefer, football where we can trace and see what's happening.
Yeah, what's your take on that? I personally, I think you agree with me that Scotland was absolutely dominant in that match. Yes, and Caps United were nowhere close to the quality that Scotland. Honourable, you're watching?
Are you sure?
What's your take on the game?
Are you actually saying this from your heart? Are you actually saying this from your heart?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yes.
I totally agree with you, but not to say they're going to win the league. Yes. But what I can say, Scotland made a huge statement of intent. Like, their style of play is quite spectacular. And,
Yes. Mourinho did the same thing.
What's so spectacular
Mourinho
about
did
long
the
balls?
same. What were we saying when Mourinho?
Finish, but then you talk too much.
You're right.
Okay, you might as well.
All right,
Well,
let me talk less.
Scotland would have scored more. We have seen them creating more chances, and also Timon coming in and Kama Billiard coming in from the injury. You know, Scotland, I think it actually did well. You know, they have maintained the winning streak from the start of the season. This is now the second match, going ahead into the third one. We just hope they just maintain that winning streak, and
You are hoping.
they have the formula.
Yes.
They have the formula.
Who's we here?
Okay.
Saying
We
are
as
hoping.
Scotland.
You Scotland are hoping to continue.
I didn't say we.
You said we are hoping.
I said we are hoping. As an analyst, I'm hoping.
You get it.
We are hoping.
But what I would agree with you guys is on the quality side. No team matches Scotland in terms of the quality
that they have.
This, I think anybody would be crazy to dispute that, because at some point, would you believe they literally had the top goal scorer from last season on the bench? He never kicked the ball. So what was interesting for me, they got to take out the reigning soccer star of the year, the runner-up to that guy. And I think one of those it should have been number 3 or number 2 in terms of top goal scorers. That's Timon Macho. So you want to look at that quality.
Wait, you mean to tell me that Scotland sat down, looked at the Player of the Year calendar and said
they have 6
all
guys.
of them
They have 6 guys from that calendar. They have 6 guys from that calendar. I can count for you: Timon Macho, Kama Billiard, Walter Msona, Kingsley Mremba, who's yet to play. God knows Murwira. And who's the other one? Just skipped my mind, but they have 6 I've counted. So you want to look at the depth of their bench and who they were bringing into the game to try and remedy whatever was happening, I think. But if you ask me, I think Cape United, they were their own worst enemies in that game.
Also, like the coach said.
Yeah. First and foremost, they made, for the lack of a better word, okay, let me use silly mistakes. They were, you know, whenever you're playing, it's sort of an inverted wing back. You need to have cover in terms of pace.
Yeah.
So that was exploited, and these guys, they got a goal. They did not play to their strength. You've got a speedy Phineas Bamus. You've got a speedy Junior
Close to the city
and you've got old
and then
legs
the rest of the pitch.
God knows Murwira.
It seems like the
I'm
London
not an
forgot
ageist,
to
I'm just
cover
saying
that one.
things out there.
Okay.
You've got God knows Murwira. You've got Kelvin Moy, who's not Pessy also. You've got Rod Fumbiza, who's not Pessy also.
Yeah.
So virtually the back 4 was not as Pessy. So Cape United did not use that advantage of having to use the Pessy wingers and try to unlock that guys. And then I think if you ask me, their biggest Achilles heel was Rodwich Nyengetere was not in this one. If the truth be told, in terms of, I mean, I don't think he has the legs now to play maybe a game of this magnitude for such a long time. I would have him maybe in the last 20 minutes, last 15 minutes. He's good. There's no substitute for experience. But I would have started maybe with Yuan to I mean, you can tell when he got in, Cape United then began to run rings. So I think they were their own enemies, but they were not really overall. I saw an article that saying, I think, that went into overdrive in terms of praise, like you were doing.
Wait, how?
Yeah.
Wait. Listen, Bevan is overly critical about over-sensationalizing these things.
Yeah, but
Scotland was the best of the day. Stop looking at me like that.
Let's go on. What's the best of the day?
And actually,
but can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? Sorry to go off script. What's your take on what we saw with the fans switching allegiance? You know what got to me in terms of what got my attention really was how you know what is Chemhofela. Well, you know what he did? Right in the face of there was Honorable Scott Sakpanya there. Then Honorable Farajere is there. right in his face. You know, and I'm like, wow. What
I heard a statement that said, loyalty doesn't pay the bills. I'm like, I'm a football fan, right? So I'm loyal to Liverpool. Liverpool have only sent me a happy birthday message on my birthday. It had nothing to do. How am I turning being a fan into a job?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm like, how are these two mixing?
Were you a fan in the first place? Anache, Man City is here, right? Man City loses 5-0. Are you supporting Manchester United the next day?
Never. We'll never turn our hearts from blue to red.
So, are you a fan in the first place? Because if you're turning from your team, the worst part is what he's just mentioned, that there's the owner of the team that you love, that is right there.
I mean, right in his face.
It is, you know, I can understand if you were like going to wear the jersey this week, right? Then next week, you're wearing Scotland.
Was it?
But to remove it in front of, in his face,
that's
you're removing him, and I'm like, what?
It's not only I don't know how you take it, Anashe, but it's not only disrespect for the owner. It's disrespect to the institution.
Exactly.
And disrespect to everyone else that you used to hug and used to cheer with at the city end. What's it called? The city end.
Yeah, the city end.
What's your take?
You know, when you're a fan, it comes with the loyalty. When you just have a team at heart, sometimes you can go through all the fiascos, everything that is happening within the club, be it ups and downs. Someone will just stick to the club. That's being a true fan. But what Chemhofela did, that was
interesting.
Betrayal, I think.
I think we need to have him on the show.
I don't think he was a fan. Okay.
Wow, but he's called by his totem Chemhofela, I think. Yeah, but I think that's not a good, that's not a correct representation of himself.
Yes, okay. All right. Let's talk about the pitch, guys. We're there at the stadium. First game, you know what? I have no idea, because I wasn't at the Caps United match. I have no idea how that pitch played, but when I was there, the Herentals game,
we've seen that is also
that is just ridiculous. How are we having a whole Premier League
for the players as well
with
it's
the
quite
pitch? Let's just look at some of the pictures that are there.
for such a thing, it's not,
you could literally have a herd of cows go into Rufaro Stadium and walk out full, satisfied, because the grass was this tall.
I think they should do
Talking about, look at the markings right there. That is going to be a problem if the rains come and these markings go away. Why is it that we're still using whitewash in this day and age? It's probably something that we need to do and correct in the stadium. But yeah, we've seen the VFB stand.
It's a whitewash as well.
Exactly, I'll get to that. So
But
this
for the
guy
players,
is
still
trimming the glass. I'm like,
lot of work,
no man, you are never going to have that.
As you
that
saw there,
pitch
our
even.
producer Bevinson, right?
You can't with your hands.
You can't.
With your traditional lawnmower, the one that you push, you are likely going to have a more even, result than what he did. So they then realized that no,
it's not working.
So he stopped. So if you looked at the pitch, Kunika part, towards the city end, that was, cut and trimmed. Then towards Vietnam, there's a part carried trimmed. Then the other part, because naturally grass, in Shono say kutungira, like it's sort of, I don't know, it's blooming if it's the right word, but Chinobuda that, so it's now brownish. The other part is green, the other one is brownish. So you're trying to trim the brownish part. But I'm saying, I even say to them, do you know if you go to a sports club, talk to the curators, they've got this, it's a robot-like trimmer. It's just put onto the foot of into the it does its things, and somebody was telling me that thing costs only $400. So I'm like, these clubs, they are not getting this stadia for free. You know what? The council is doing a disservice to these clubs, because these clubs, they are paying. They need to be up to scratch. Then there was an agogo, I found a bucket and a whitewash. So she was like, I'm telling you what I saw.
Professional football in Zimbabwe.
Yes, actually, you are preparing for.
Look at it. Look at it.
You are preparing for the biggest team in the land, that is Dynamos, and arguably, I think the biggest clash of the first games that you have. And I mean, judging by what was happening pre-season, I think it will probably be the biggest game of the season because these are teams that have really been doing so well in terms of preparations, Cape United and Scotland.
Yes.
You're preparing for such a big, and even if you use the crowd as a yardstick, it was a very big game.
Yeah.
It's a whitewash like that. And they eat him a gold or like.
it's not refined.
We had to move Kama lines. I'm telling you what we did. You get it. And you're like, this is the Faro Stadium.
Yeah.
Why do they have to do it last minute? You know, they just give us something to say.
Yeah.
Because when we want to prepare for the match, I think these things have to be done tiny time.
Exactly.
So sometimes they just embarrass themselves by just, you know.
Yeah. Anashe, have you seen when we're watching the EPL, right? Just at halftime, you have the caretakers looking at the pitch, and if there are parts of the pitch that has been separated, they put it in and then they stomp it just to make sure the playing surface is even.
Yes.
That didn't happen. Did you see anyone go to the pitch?
No, not just that. Even after, you have to. You know, some of us have the privilege of remaining behind long after others are gone. So the way the pitch is watered it's scary. I'm telling you. But here's the thing. I think we have to improve the way we handle our stadium. If you ask me, this we are calling out PSO, we're calling out ZIFA, engage with the council. Let us have a standard. If we're going to have one company in Harare, for example, maintaining the ground, so be it. Let's have somebody who's really getting paid for this thing, who knows that there will be dire consequences if the state of the pitch is not right. Because you know what, there are a lot of things that are wrong at Faro Stadium now, if you ask me. The dugout, it's too big. I mean, when you've got a lot of dead seats from the terraces.
Yes.
You get it. When you're seated in the VVIP, I mean, you are supposed to be having the best view. But you've got this thing. So you stand up
so that you
see what is happening. If I'm managing the flow during the production, don't go there. You get it? It can't be that. This is the Premier Soccer League. Meaning this is the best we have. This is our #1 exhibition of our football. We cannot have what we are obtaining at our stadium. Your entry to the VIP section is an ISO. Go check. You have to be very careful making your step because pavers and these blocks that are there. You've got these pipes. Imagine VIPs. You're talking of some ladies who come with some, stilettos. You get it. Then
on that point, why do we have to come with the stiletto at a football pitch?
These are VIP people.
No, we can't comment.
Wherever they go, it's VIP.
We can't comment.
Persons, I think there should be a specific dressing that you should wear.
No. I agree
Let's
with.
be in our sneakers.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Is this in reference to what we saw the previous match day? When we
see, now that is where we have the problem. So I'm saying there are those that can't be because of the status in the society. They can't be. So what they will do is some have to be elegantly dressed. They have to be formally dressed because of the status that they have.
Okay,
so if you go,
are you saying if I have this is the reason why? No. When we are a football fan, you just have to know the kind of dressing that you should wear.
But football is for everyone.
Yes.
So
are you saying
prescribed dressing?
Liverpool?
No. let me respond to that. Prescribed dressing is for the players and the referees and everybody. When we come to the VIP section, we are saying team suit. You get it. These are official.
You just have to represent your team well.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but
the suit doesn't work.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Haven't you seen Manchester United, for example? I use that because of, that's...
Yeah, the parade of course. Yeah, the VIP box.
You see those men, they are clad in suit. They're Manchester United. Yeah. These are the VIP. So that section you're talking about is our equivalent of that, though it's nowhere near even, you get it. But what we are saying, that area, and it should be nice in such a way. But when these guys come, Bevan, they are not inconvenienced because this is where Bevan, the money is.
I was standing next to the mayor whilst the rain was pummeling us in the VIP section,
and we had to cover. We had to see people covering those seats.
See those seats. Can you imagine this covering on the VIP, but it didn't do anything.
And the other thing that appalls me is after the game, you've got these kids from Bare. We did the same, not necessarily VIP. We are kids being kids. But I'm saying the marshals and security, they have to put demarcations and barricades to say this area is restricted. You're not going to have these kids. You're not going to have ordinary people mingling and mix, with these VVIP within that section. Because at the end of the day, some of them are going to go home without these very expensive phones.
Yeah.
It's before it happens, it may not come out nice, but this is the reality. And you've got to understand, this is where the capital comes from. These are the guys that are pumping in all the monies to have the game. So the treatment can't be the same with, everybody. That's just my take.
I think let's first fix the whole stadium, then we'll consider the VVIP section.
Yeah, but which one is the stadium, guys? I don't know. There's much concentration on the bucket seats and the fan experience and everything. But do we have a stadium if we don't have a pitch? Can we say we're going to a stadium?
No. Because you can watch as much as we take into cognizance the requirements from FIFA and CAF and everybody. But you can have fans watching football standing.
Yeah, isn't that what happened at Wadzana, is it?
Yeah, there's a part that people stand. Yeah. But I'm saying, even in Europe, there are stadiums where people are standing, not because there are no seats there, but they prefer watching
the standing section,
You get it. But what we're saying is, the pitch has to be top-notch. I mean, I don't know if it's pride, I don't know. Why not go to Prophet Walter Magaya? Ask him, how did you guys come up with this thing, and how do you maintain this thing? Because we've got to give credit where it's due. At stadium, it may be issues to do, maybe capacity, yes, but the pitch,
the playing surface,
it's not dangerous for the players. The right kind of grass, the right amount of grass, the right height. I've been to Baobab Stadium. The grass is this tall, this long.
Going to talk about it.
You get it? It's so heavy, and now they've put in some soil which is clayish, and it's bumpy now.
Yes.
Last podcast you said you can actually pick the clay up and it can be used as a missile. Briefly, guys, big win for Iboso against Kwekwe United. You're not allowed to say anything about it. Yeah, you can comment. Highlanders winning against Kwekwe United. A statement by Highlanders to say they're in it. I said you're not allowed to say anything. A statement by Highlanders. Do you agree?
No, I don't.
Why?
How can we say this was a big win for Highlanders?
You said big win.
Yes.
Yes, you said big win.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
4-0 against Kwekwe United.
Yes.
These are the new boys who are just coming in, and you celebrate a big win against the new boys. These are newbies, and this Highlanders is just the legendary team, which we might expect to have that same scoreline against Cape United, against
Scotland, Dynamos, against FC Platinum.
You see, FC Platinum.
Scotland might be a bit too hot for them. Yes, Highlanders. We'll wait and see whether Highlanders. We're going into match day 3. No, we're going to wait and see whether Highlanders can work on that one. Till 1, they won. convincingly.
That's now when
Triangle. It was convincing.
When you
Now
say
it's a big
statement win, that's a statement win. Because I think they lost their first game to, according to the coach, because we were coming from Ngezi. We met the coach in some joint along the road from Ngezi. He said he wasn't convinced. So he said it was questionable, their loss. But like when you remember when we made predictions, this is one side we all agreed to say this season they are going to be the dark horses of the Premiership because they have boosted the squad, and that was a statement win. And now they're going to be playing, you know.
It's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
Something else, Munetsi scoring a goal for Wolves. I'm proud.
Likewise, I'm really proud. You know, you try to think about changing from being a Manchester City fan into be.
Yeah, you've got every reason to.
Yes, because
no, that's we don't like Chemhofela syndrome.
No, this is different.
How is it different?
And these are kind of international teams,
it's a nepotism
and you know,
kind of,
like Chemhofela wasn't patriotic.
Okay. Also, yours is premised on patriotism.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but I think it's good if we're going to have our players getting into form ahead of the qualifiers. I think it gives Michael Nis a positive headache. It's a good one, and it's something that we want, something that we look forward to when we've got our players doing that. And if we've got, imagine if we now expect goals from Marshall Nis, so that takes off the load from us just expecting, because we know when he plays here, he's not your center forward.
Yeah,
so
he's deeper into midfield.
And you know, initially we initially raised the eyebrows concerning his position at Wolves, and people were actually kind of
thinking that he was a CDM.
Yes, and he's coming in as the gunman. So you would try to just find out like how best is he going to, you know, balance and becoming that person. But we have seen him giving that exquisite performance and him scoring his first goal for Wolves. No one actually looked forward to it, making history.
Well, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was predicting he's a 20-goal striker.
Were you
no,
actually...
I think sometimes we need to be normal.
Right, Bevan, the Warriors squad is going to be announced tomorrow. That is Wednesday. If we say that, I'm talking about Walter now. When we say that Munetsi is a CF, do we expect him to be in Michael Nis's squad to be more into midfield, or we're looking at his attacking threat? And if we do put him in that attacking threat, who do we put in midfield?
I would have him where we are used to having him play. That's me personally. I know probably opinions differ, but I would have him there because we need a bit of stability there, because you're looking at the fact that you've got an injured Nakamba who's not probably going to be available. So we need to have stability in the middle of the park. So I will have him there. I think Prince Dube is doing well. Now he's scoring. So we are not really short of options up front. So I would have him there and play from the midfield, and once in a while him getting into the box and try to do what he's doing at Wolves.
Who would you want to be in the Warriors squad, Anasha?
Lately I've seen Michael Nis attending local matches. Yes, and like what you said, it's gonna give him a lot of headache to actually see who to put in the squad. But I think Chiroa has done well at Hartsfield, and I'll be hoping that he would actually be part of the squad. Obviously, Munetsi
did score last week.
Are you asking me who I want?
No.
But I have to say,
no, you're not.
Strictly
Football is done. We're done. Let's go. Next.
That's
next
not fair.
Life is not fair.
That's not fair.
No,
I was going to tell you that.
Get his mic.
I was going to tell you that. I mean, let's have harmony.
Cut his mic.
Let's have Abubakar Mofat.
Is it still on? Why is it still on?
Let's have Abubakar Mofat there. You see, these are names that you probably don't know. You Zimbabwe.
What did we say about water on set, guys? Come on, person, just water. Oh my God.